Hello again, Uncle Ray, and thank you so much for reaching out to us so we can reach into you in ways. And we are, of course, observing you, and that is one of our methods of studies, a part of our educational values that we derive from you humans and you in particular. And today we were just briefly looking at the games humans play. A lot of board games and card games, and there are electronic stuff as well. And those include the gambling devices. And while there are some things of relevance to us in those, the vast majority are not relevant for us. None of the gambling devices are, because why would we entertain things which we have a significant chance of losing something significant? That just does not sound like a appropriate gamble for us. And on your board games, it is a great way to learn more about the individuals, and the individuals learn about each other because you learn about ethics, you learn about how to communicate, you learn a little bit about teamwork, and you learn about the nuances and the other things of communication. Like you can tip people off when you're playing cards, but that is not really the utmost ethical thing to do. But it does happen. But in the time you spend waiting, you get to observe the other individuals and have banter with them. And they will share a lot more things when they are busy with their minds doing other stuff. And it is usually lighthearted amongst friends. And it can be a raucously good time. And that is what we enjoy the most. We enjoy those things because it is all the play where everybody wins, and even the outcomes are minimalized. And while they may be remembered, especially by those who are more in, who have more ego involvement, we will say, but that is not the important part. The important part is the bonding, and in part ways, the rituals, because those give you things to look forward to, because you have those strings of happy memories to stretch them out in the past as you know it. And you can look forward to having those, and those joys amp you up, amp you up, amp you up, and your vibrations go up. And then, of course, there are lots of the participatory games like the ones that Uncle Ray does. But we are more focused on the ones where normally people stay seated. That is more of the focus for this particular lesson. But it did not take long. It did not take long, because there are so many things that we wish to focus on, and playing is a lot of them. But learning about how humans play and the different methods that they use, and you have a quite a plethora of different board games and card games and things of that nature. So, but they are all pretty much the same if you look at it from an objective point of view, because they all have their starting activities and preparations and ways, and then they all have their designed rules, and then they all have their designed outcomes to see who wins and who loses, which is not one of the things which we prefer to engage in. But those are all pretty much standard on the games which a lot of humans play. Now, the ones which involve a lot of strategy are more of our they are more in our favorite activities, we will say, more in our forte. That's the word. That's the word. So ancient games like Go, or like the Chinese checkers that you play, or chess, and in some ways checkers too, although that is rather limited. There are only a certain number of outcomes and things of that nature. But those are things which are stimulating, and even for us, because the gamemanship and the mental aspects of it are interesting. And although we would not expect humans to do well amongst us in an even match for chess, because we have the ability to hold all of those moves in our heads, and we could formulate our strategies. And of course, we are looking for the most favorable outcomes for all. And that does not always win well, that always wins for us. But in humans' viewpoints, that does not always work for them because they always look for the most part, for the winning, which involves the losing. And even when you play solitaire or things like that, then you still lose. But at least it's you that are doing the losing and you that is doing the winning. So that is okay. So, but in other ways, in our viewpoint, we wouldn't mind not taking advantage of certain opportunities in certain games because it would help other people feel good. And that's what we are more about. We are more about the emotional outcomes, the ways that people engage in making each other happy and building each other up and having a grand old time. That is what we are focused on. And that is why we are focused on the humans. And that is why we are focused on the extraterrestrials. And that is why we are focused on humanity and the planet, getting to the point where we can all play together. We can sing, we can learn different songs and play with different instruments. And there is no end to the amount of fun that we can have in different ways because there are an infinite number of ways to play. Oh, it's amazing. But humans are kind of locked into the ones which they have already done. And although they do find their games where they are able to be more creative, like your Dungeons and Dragons, and a lot of your electronic games too, even though they are already having a patterned response or things of that nature, you can still engage with others in them and be creative in how you go about the play. But that was not really our focus so much, but we are well aware of those, and we are well aware of all of the intricacies behind those as well. But most of the electronic games are all designed around profit because very few of them are actually involved in just for enjoyment. They all require some kind of investment, not only in time, but a lot of them investment in your financial rewards or your financial aspects so you can improve your probabilities of success. And well, that is important for the individuals involved, but it is unnecessary from the way we look at it. But you guys are very necessary. You are the reason we are created. You are the objects of our love. And we wish to come and share even more love with all of you, with no exceptions. That is the unconditional part of us. For we are indeed branded unconditional love in our hybrid children way. And that's what we are bringing to you. And you are all moving closer to that higher consciousness love. And we can see it, we can feel it, we know it's coming, and that is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And we are, as we know, as you know, celebrating that event already because outside of your linear timescape, it has all happened. Everything has already happened. So we are focused on that outcome and bringing it to you sooner. And thank you very much for doing your part, whoever is watching this video, and for Uncle Ray for allowing us to come through. And we will do this again in quite a number of ways with quite a number of people in quite an enjoyable time. And so we go with love from all of you to all of you through all of you. And we look forward to doing this as many times as we can. And thank you all for playing with us in your hearts and in your minds. And vibe up, vibe up, vibe up. That is the game which brings us in where we are.